Hi Aquarians, I hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and if you're one of my incredible subscribers, thank you for being here. This reading is going to be for Aquarius. I've gone ahead and rolled the dice for you. The astrological die have landed as Capricorn. It's also landed as number 12 and home. In addition, the rune that is resonating right now for you is Ingus. Ingus speaks to a seed or a god or the ing. So it's about ing, doing, being, seeing. It's a rune of isolation or separation, and its power is to create isolation or separation so that you can make space or a place where the process of transformation into higher states of being can occur. It's a rune of gestation and internal growth. It's also about personal development, the power of suggestion, the inner child, and wholeness. There goes my throat chakra. It's about stored energy, gestation process, subtlety, planned bursts. So basically it's when all of a sudden something just goes. So that could be your energy, and you may be sitting there and then all of a sudden, bang, you get this burst and you just go. You do it without thinking. You do it without pondering. It's just whatever comes, either to be said or to be felt or to be acted upon, you just do it without thinking the things through. You very much may live in the moment. And the divination meaning is resting, gestation, or internal growth, expectations, time for oneself, or impotence, scattering, movement without change, frivolity or immaturity, depending on. There's something that I find is very important. If you look, it also looks like a DNA strand. It speaks to our ancestors. So something could have happened in December-ish, 12. Could have happened in Pisces season, March. You could have been dealing with a Capricorn, and it was something to do with the home. So it could be a transformation that was required in home life. We can get some more tarot cards to see what is going on. So what is, and maybe even this began in December, went through Capricorn season and into Piscean season. So this could be something that you've been going through for the last 3 months. It's asking you, what seeds have you been planting? What is it that you're creating? Are you looking before you plant? And home, your ancestors are trying to, technically we are the offspring, if you will, of our ancestors. Some even say that we are our own ancestors, but reincarnated, and we've come back to make changes through this DNA line. So the question is, are you making the changes that you set out to make? Spirit, yeah, Wheel of Fortune, destiny, there you go. So clarifying the home, there's something about a change and a transformation here. Spirit also, I feel, is coming in. It's the Wheel of Fortune, and it's destined and it's guided. So some change in your home life needs to be made. Maybe it's to do with children, possibly. Maybe it's to do with your environment so that you are able to, sorry, there's lots of noise outside today. Maybe it's something to do with your environment and making it into the home you've always wanted it to be. Maybe it's about grounding yourself. Let's keep going. What is this Wheel of Fortune, please? Right. So it looks as though there needs to be a change here in terms of thinking. Maybe at home, you could be the type of person who likes to think that you have it all figured out and that everything should be a certain way. And perhaps you conquer everyone at home with your decisions and your choices of how things can be, but this can also be chasing others away, or it could be hurting others, because there's that Five of Swords energy is about ego, pride, needing to be right, and then it's clarified as well with the pride card. So I'm gathering this feeling like perhaps there's a level of being too headstrong, and we all get into these positions where sometimes we think we know the right way and we get too stuck and too rigid and too fixed. Capricorn is a fixed sign. Too fixed to the point where we end up self-sabotaging because we're not allowing change to happen, or we're not allowing flexibility to come through. That Five of Swords in reverse sees you wanting to make a peaceful resolution, or moving on from something, possibly an argument, or ending a conflict, or releasing stress, or overcoming a challenge of some sort, or a major sacrifice, risking everything. But then again, it can also speak to, and being next to this Six of Wands energy, it can speak to being relentless, seeking revenge, escalating aggression, okay? Not heeding warnings. Now, if that be the case, then there could be, again, what I'm getting is, what are you creating here? Perhaps Spirit is asking you to look in the mirror and say, does your resistance show up in your life through your children? Do they resist a lot of what you do, or what you suggest, or what you say? Do they do it because you feel experienced and you're full of pride to the point that you think you know the right answer? Because what's happening is you're planting a seed here. You're planting a seed, and I get this feeling like it could be causing a lot of friction at this point in time with those around you. But what's beautiful is that there's karma here and there's divine lessons. And this is giving an opportunity for anyone out there who's willing, or for who this is resonating for, who's on a process of growth and personal development, because that's what Ingus is about. It's about changing and developing and outgrowing these old patterns. 12, releasing, shedding of something. Shedding that which no longer serves us. It's Pisces season. That's usually the end. And it's also the secret and the hidden. Yeah, see? The secret and the hidden of what's not known. So what could be hidden here is that perhaps the lack of flexibility is causing other people to feel trapped. Maybe they don't feel comfortable in the home. And what we teach others, especially if it be children for that matter, they will continue on through generations learning this. But us, we are the descendants in which we make the change. So there's something here about a change to home life, to the way things are being done there. Yet there's this level of restriction, but it's self-imposed restriction. So again, I feel like this is somebody who's being blindfolded, doesn't want to see other people's ways of doing things, or doesn't want to be open or flexible to other ideas. And that could be causing a lot of issues. And maybe some of you now are coming to that point where you want to surpass this energy. So I see big transformations coming here for you, Aquas. King of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Maybe that individual has in fact helped you, or will help you, to see the long goal, to see what it is that you're creating. Now this can also be a bit of a bully or a tyrant, if need be the case. So if you're ruling over people at home and you find that there's a lot of conflicts, perhaps what Spirit is suggesting is it might be time to allow for some flexibility. Allow for some flexibility instead of sitting on the throne dictating. how things need to be. Because someone's feeling restricted, they're feeling unheard, and they're feeling as though they have to bow down. Is that healthy? Unfortunately, no. So here we have the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So again, is this you maybe? Maybe if this isn't even your energy, there needs to be a change to your partner. Perhaps your partner is very over dominating to the point where they demand that everything be their way, and perhaps you put them on such a pedestal because you're so loving and nurturing and kind that you are starting to feel more restricted by the day, to the point where there could be conflicts and arguments happening, maybe nasty rows are happening. But I feel as though something needs to change. Perhaps you're being too benevolent to this individual, or this individual could be being too benevolent to you. And this is really causing an imbalance. And this is also a card of somebody thinking that there's nothing wrong with them, especially when coupled with this Five of Swords. Now then again, if you're wanting victory over a conflict here, which could be for others of you, maybe you're wanting a change to the conflict and you want to overcome it. Perhaps Spirit is saying, this person may be a little bit restricted and not able to see other ways because you're not saying exactly what it is that needs to be said. And I say that because that Five of Swords is in reverse, as well as this Eight of Swords with the blindfold on. And I feel like I'm getting this feeling like this king is ruling over everything, and this queen is pretty much, I'm getting this isolation. She feels like she's on her own to manage everything, deal with everything on her own. But something needs to change here, and it's going to change. So whether that be more support around the home, whether that be more love, whether that be more appreciation and recognition for all that you do, something here is coming to a head. So let's see what that could be. What could this be, please, spirits? Perfect timing. Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspiration. The doors are wide open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are right for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. That could be that restriction there and the change in which Spirit is bringing. And this is changes that are out of your control, by the way. So it's very possible that Spirit is going to shake some things up. And if it hasn't happened yet, it could be happening in the next Pisces season, next Capricorn season. And again, this is because a change needs to happen, but also at a very deep level. This is something I feel that has to be implemented for society as a whole, for the world as a whole. Maybe it's those stereotypes that the wife is to be at home cooking and cleaning and doing all of the work and not allowing herself to see her inspirations or dreams and trying to appease the man. Well, there's big changes now, and it's changes that Spirit wants to see, which is equality. Again, we go back to that benevolence. So, some advice: surrender resentments. And that could be why this change needs to happen, is because of the resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. I feel very much that resentments may be getting stuffed here. So it's time for a change. But it's not even just a change for you. If you make this change within your own home life as well, it will influence your children. It will influence your children to grow up, and for the men to be allowed to process their feelings if they don't already, to be allowed to cry if they feel the urge, It'll be for the girls to not be brought up having to clean everything and do all the laundry and do the dishes and cook the dinners. There's a big change here. And aquas are somebody who do not conform. You're not a conformist. So some of you may have felt the pressures of society to a point where you just did what you had to do, but now it's time for a change. So maybe to get over the resentments that might be felt here for anything to do with home, it would be good if you turned around and you handed back some of this stuff to others. Maybe you don't even realize how much of a gender role you've taken on. And that could be where that resentment is coming from, because it's being stuffed here, right? But now is the perfect moment. So there's changes. There could be something that you want to nurture and grow. Maybe it's even your children. Maybe you want them to grow and see things in a different light. Well, now's your opportunity. Your ancestors are behind you. 12, letting go of what no longer serves. No longer. Maybe Capricorn, maybe it was around December, January that you finally decided to make a change. And what's interesting is usually around January is when there is the most divorce filings with the court systems, the most separation filings. And the reason why is because there's something about this new year that brings in change. So perhaps Spirit is backing you up. If you decided at some point that something needed to change, maybe that you needed to leave, you needed to find the strength to possibly move on because you want to plant a seed for your life and you want something new, or perhaps you're working towards it because it's a gestation period. Spirit is giving you the nod that it's going to be okay. And in the meantime, to keep your sanity, surrender the resentments. If somebody is being very controlling and they are keeping you restricted, the best thing to do is to let it go and know that this is their problem and that you're working on it, and in perfect timing you are going to see this change and possibly move on, and you're going to be victorious and the conflict is going to end, right? So that's what I'm really feeling. Let's get one more card. So what's coming, please? The near future. Magical map shifter. I told you, card number 52. And again, this individual has the blindfold on. You don't really know when it's going to be. You don't know really when it's going to happen, but you're shifting where you are on the map, which means there's going to be a move. It's going to be a movement and a change. So it's coming. And 7, the number 7, has been very prominent for you. I did a pre-reading and 7s kept coming up. And 7s resonate with the collective consciousness. So as I was saying about big changes, you're changing the shift of how things have always been done. Having faith in your spirituality, or a spiritual awakening and awareness, spiritual enlightenment for that matter, or spiritual development, mysticism, intuition, and inner knowing. Maybe even relying now on your inner wisdom as opposed to being ruled over anymore by somebody else, because the King of Wands is somebody who can be very good at having everybody else around them do what needs to be done for him. Okay? And it's about possibly religion and introspection, deep contemplation, inner selves wanting to come out. Maybe some secrets are starting to reveal themselves, but you want to find that peace, right? And you've got the strength and the endurance and the perseverance. It also speaks to persistence of purpose, the ability to bear hardships, quick wit. But again, I feel that you're going at this alone, okay? So there's something inside of you, hence the resentments. I feel that you've been going at it alone, which 7 also speaks to. It can be like a loner energy, not in a bad sense, but it's time for good fortune. It's time for mental analysis, alchemy, and also determination and the inventor. So there's something that you're planting in a seed here, and perhaps it's going to be a brand new home life, and that's going to be coming towards you. That could very well be, come December, come March of next year, or perhaps as time is fluid, maybe you've just moved and now things are going to be better. Now you could be in the healing process. Either or, it's a big deal. Okay, we're at 20 minutes. Time for me to go. I hope that this resonated for you guys. And if it didn't, that's okay. Maybe the next one will resonate for you, okay? Have an amazing rest of your day. See you again soon. Bye, Aquas.